Alright, so for grooming, I'm going to use comb brush. When I use comb brush and try to drag these guys down, I can of course drag these down, but it's going to be difficult after a while when you try it. The main difficulties are, first of all, it's hard to control just an individual hair if you want to make changes. Another problem is that when you start to like gradually refine and add more, it's very easy to affect other hair strands and mess up. So you have to be really careful, right? Or there's the same problem basically. It's hard to just make small changes and not messing with others. So to fix that problem, I'm gonna use actually freezing, and then I'm gonna use the comb brush to only comb the freezed area, like selecting a region and then only do that part. So let me Control Z to go back. It's okay, I can work on this. So I'm gonna go use holding on Shift and right mouse button, use freeze. This will allow me to freeze some of the hair strands, like I wanted to maybe refine these guys now. So I'm gonna go ahead and freeze that and go back to my comb brush. I'm gonna use this invert frozen effect. So that's gonna allow me to comb, but only comb those frozen parts, so I can make some smaller adjustment to break up or make more variations. Right. Another problem is sometimes you find it you cannot really affect some of the hair strands like that one. The reason for that is because in the default settings the brush have backface masking. So let's go ahead and turn that off. It's going to be underneath brush fall off, and then turn off this filter backfaces. Let me also make my strands full so that when I sculpting I get better response. I want to have this kind of like full control. Okay. Alright, so I think I like this now. I'm going to go holding down Shift and right mouse button, go to freeze, holding down Control and unfreeze that. And I'm going to go ahead and freeze these two on the back and do more combing. So I want these guys to go forward. As you can see how easy it is now if you just go ahead and freeze the part that you want to adjust, and only that. Okay. Alright, let me go to freeze one more time, Control to unfreeze. Now I'm going to move on to these two and comb them again. So I do encourage you to use this method instead of trying to do everything all together. It's going to be difficult. Okay, so I'm going to go use freeze, unfreeze that. Maybe I want to take this one, just this one, and do comb. It may feel to be a little slow to do it this way, but believe me, this is the way you want it to go. You can try it, just do everything all together, and you will feel that struggle that makes you want to kill yourself because of the, all the weird effect when you drag something and it's just gonna mess up with everything else. Okay. So I'm happy with this one now. I'm going to go ahead, and it's going to give you a better result too because you're making variations very carefully. Go to freeze and unfreeze that and freeze this guy. Go ahead and comb this guy down. So your best bet is grooming only a few, maybe even one at a time, to be able to achieve very well controlled results. And that's not uncommon in many studios. Haircuts, best bet to do good haircuts is place them one by one, or when you're grooming, groom a little chunk at a time so that you have better control. Alright, so I'm gonna unfreeze that and freeze this. Let's see, this guy, maybe I wanted to pull it back instead of going down, so I'm gonna pull it back. Where is it? It's coming from there. Now, of course, I kind of like wanted to check my region map now and see if that one belongs to my front region map or back, and I can tweak my region map to really define. If I want it to be on the back, then my region map, my red area will not having this particular guide. So let me go back to my guide and go start painting my region map. You can see that's my region map. Kind of wanted to cover more now, right? So let me go ahead and change my color back to red. And then I'm gonna paint these guys. I did bring down. These guys are supposed to be belongs to my front patch. As you can see, as long as I define that, the separation is clear. Okay. So make sure that you constantly also check your region map and see if you're getting your region map covers you know, the clusters or the clumps you really defined on your guides. Alright, let me go ahead and start grooming again, and this is basically how grooming is. So I'm gonna groom the front two parts with silence and fast forward, so you don't have to see me doing that you know, really slowly, and then you can also start doing it now. Okay.